Soul Garden.
Hello, Ambassador Gemini. Welcome to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. My name is Christopher Witecki. And Happy New Year to you, Gemini. It's now 2012. We've been off the air for a couple of weeks working on Soul Garden. It was a tough transit, wasn't it, that Sun in Capricorn? We'll talk more on that in a moment. Actually, in the last 2 weeks, I want to tell you what I've been working on, the new guardian agency. This is my strategy for 2012. If it's going to go down in 12, Soul Garden is ready. We've got the weekly horoscopes. They're not going to stop after this. This is it. Voice cracked or not, I'll be on the air. And we have the guardian agency for in the moment. If you want to change your life, it's in the moment. All right? You watch your horoscope right now, you forget it by Wednesday. Not if you have GA. I'm texting you in the moment, and I'm taking your date of birth, and we're sending out all kinds of warning with texts for certain sorts of conditions, like your Saturn return energy and moon energy. This is not a simple horoscope that's texted to you. This is us holding your spiritual hand. So take a look at it. It's really cool. I'm very proud of it. It's only 99 cents for the first week. You can cancel anytime, yada, yada, yada. And you can just go to gatext.me, gatext.me. All right, so we are on to 2012. The Gemini race over the holiday in Capricorn, we're working on their boundaries. This is trust, intimacy, where you draw your lines and why. And you know, Geminis are pretty stubborn about boundaries, so it was a hard transit for most of my Gemini clients, and most of the people in the guardian agency that were texting back to me were telling me what they were going through. Now that we move into Sun in Aquarius, things will lighten up. In fact, Aquarius is your belief structure consciousness. Geminis are always interested in innovating what they believe at all times. This is your insatiable appetite for knowledge, is that Aquarius rules your belief structure. The belief structure is a state of awareness that puts all of our facts together. Sure, the Gemini minds are good at reading any situation, but you want to put them together. You want to come to thesis statements. You want to come to conclusions. And that's what you use Aquarius energy to do. Let's take a look at the planets, see what's going on this week. We really kick it off with a bang. On Monday, it's Lightcast Day. The Sun and Moon come together, pulling emotional field into belief. So you're very righteous and philosophical and passionate about knowledge. If you're a young person, this may all play out with educational choices, trying to get into college. This may all be playing out with you trying to take a trip somewhere, because when you travel, you blow your mind, right? Your belief structure gets blown. You see other cultures and how they do it. But if you do want to travel or get into Harvard or whatever, Monday is the day to fill your heart with love and just visualize as much as you can. This is the start of the transit, and you're really seeing how you feel about certain things. On Tuesday, Uranus rules the day. That means breakdown. That means breakdown, unfortunately. You might get the application, you didn't make it to Harvard. Might be a breakdown in trip information. Might be that you were ignorant and your ignorance was no longer bliss. This is certainly a transit where people will trip over their ignorance, unfortunately. The moon is still in this field, so it's still amping up everything, making you supercharged about everything. So unfortunately, Tuesday is not so much fun. On top of that, Mars goes retrograde on Tuesday. Now, Mars has been push in the Virgo consciousness for some time now. All right? And what that's been for you is take better care of yourself, take better care of yourself. So you've had a lot of energy to build a home out of brick. You've had a lot of energy to stand up against your wicked roommates. You've had a lot of energy to do it differently than your family. But suddenly Mars goes limp, and suddenly you don't have the strength anymore. The truth is, you have the strength. You're just going to have to find it within you. That's what Mars retrograde is okay, now you do it. And that's always fun. So when it's coupled with the Uranus day, not so much fun on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you'll be feeling better. Mercury rules the day. That's your home planet, so you're going to get your senses about you. Remember, this is all about belief structure anyway. Somewhere where you believed is not working. Something you thought you would do is not true. And so you'll figure out what that is. You'll have your breakthrough on Wednesday. Also, at the same time, the moon finally shifts into Pisces, giving us a nice break. This is going to shift your emotional field on Wednesday to work. So you'll be more preoccupied with work, more preoccupied with career stuff. And so it'll take your minds off of whatever it is that broke down. The other thing I want to point out too is Jupiter. Jupiter right here is direct and pushing really hard on the Gemini consciousness or Gemini subconsciousness. A lot of this lesson is having faith in yourself. Okay, this was a big introductory theme last summer, but it goes into full play now. In fact, over the holiday, I recorded a thing called the Act 1 videos, and I talk heavily about Jupiter. Gemini is going to get Jupiter in your ego sign at the end of the year. And I talk about this in the Act 1 video. You got to face your boogeyman now. You got to have faith now. Sometimes if you open your eyes, there's nothing wrong. Turn off the lights, it's dark. Turn back on, there's nothing wrong. It is time for Geminis to get past that. The Act 1 videos help you with that. So if you haven't done it, it's $4.95 there at soulmart.me. Do yourself a favor and download it. It's really about 15 minutes. It's worth it. Okay. Thursday is Love Fest Day. Things really get nice. It'll be good at work. The moon's going to cross over Venus. That's why Venus is the epicenter of giving and receiving. So when things are out of balance and it hits Venus, things tend to be fair again. People have good luck. Emotionally means your emotional field will be rebalanced. Venus is in Pisces right now, so this means a lot of compassionate energy is pumping onto the earth really right now. Neptune's moving into Pisces too, so a lot of compassion being pumped on the earth. You'll feel it. Be a good work day, certainly on Thursday. And if you're a part of soulguard.me, tell everyone you love that you love them. Then on Friday, it's social time. The moon moves into Aries, so shifts in. Now you might have a little freak out. See this Uranus here? You might have a little freak out with Uranus. When the moon crosses, there might be an emotional breakdown. Could be with a friend, could be a situation in your community. It could be a fear, something that you slip up. So the beginning of Friday isn't so much fun because there will be an emotional breakdown, but it's not a major one. It's like slipping on a banana peel. It's not as big as what we had in the beginning of the week when the whole sun was ruled by Uranus. This is a little different. But again, a little bit of emotional breakdown. The other thing, your ruling planet up here in Capricorn, Mercury, finally leaves Capricorn. Finally, your thoughts can leave boundaries and your thoughts can leave the trust issue. You leave that behind. So if your mind's been beating yourself up, that'll probably end by Saturday. Let's take a look at the weekend. On the weekend, it's going to be pretty chill, really. Remember, you're really only being philosophical this particular month. It's about what you believe and why, where you're pointing your ship. But on Saturday, it's time to decide. If anything, it's time to decide what you want to step away from. Okay, forget Harvard. Okay, forget that trip to Malaysia. Let's go somewhere else. Step away from, well, isn't working? Forget believing in that. I'm not going to believe that anymore. Fine. I'm not going to put my mind's attention on that. So on Saturday, you're kind of deciding what you want to step away from. The moon is in Aries, so you're feeling very social on Saturday. On Sunday is a day where Mars rules the day. So remember I told you you're feeling deflated and you didn't have the energy for yourself? Sunday you probably will. Mars is going to rule the day. You'll be like, oh, what was wrong with me? Great day to get some things done around the house on Sunday since Mars is retrograde. And also Sunday's a great social day because the moon is in Aries. So you're really feeling up and chit-chattery, doing that Mercury thing you Geminis do. So it's a pretty good weekend. Okay, Gemini, that wraps up my first week here in 2012. Be sure to check out the mothership, soulguard.me, soulmart.me, gatex.me. It's all about livelovebe.me this year in 2012, and I will see you in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.